rolling.
Look at that. I mean, if that's not beautiful, I don't know what is.
So I can post it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now because it is up. Copy link.
Ryer, does that satisfy your ADHD?
Where
Tell
is
me
it?
you don't know what ADHD is without telling me you don't know what ADHD is.
I don't know what ADHD is.
That would be OCD.
That would be
This
OCD, not A.
This table, so we might want to check this.
Oh, it. Yeah, well, Ryer can check it on his phone.
Our chord situation.
There's so
Chord
much
situation needs a little-
stuff.
Huh? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Which number are you?
I'm number 2.
Number 2. No, I'm number 1. So which one's that? Is that number 3? No, that's number 4. That's number 4. So we'll kill that one. All right, we're live on the YouTubes and on the Instagrams.
Hello, everybody. On the Instagram Live.
Sorry, our audio still sucks. Ryer couldn't figure it out.
We tried for a solid hour. It turns out that nothing ever works together. If the audio annoys you, you can go to YouTube and watch this in the correct aspect ratio
And
with the proper
in
sound
HD.
in HD, shot on a professional camera.
If the sound bothers you, join our Patreon account. You can help us purchase new gear.
We got enough gear.
They can use more.
I was this close to spending too much money today on another FX6. I didn't do it.
You know,
Talked myself out of it.
somebody told me you could buy an FX6
$2,000 more than it's supposed to be.
from where?
The first one you bought
eBay.
was $600.
You can buy them on Walmart.
Walmart.
It's $1,000 more, but I think you can do it.
Oh.
Go look.
Seriously?
Yeah, somebody messaged me it. Yep.
Could you imagine rolling up to a shoot? Hey,
On
where's your
Walmart?
FX6?
On Walmart.com.
No crap.
Hmm.
Filming an outdoor TV show knowing you bought a FX6 from Walmart.
That's honestly the most redneck tech thing there could be.
I feel left out without my computer.
Where?
I'm sorry. Get your computer.
No, there's not an FX6 on here, dude. There's accessories.
Somebody literally sent me the link.
Well, send it to me because it's not there.
Hmm.
I'm sure they're sold out. If it was only $1,000 over, I'd almost be willing to pay that right now.
Chris Whisker says audio really isn't that bad, and Mortensen. I know who that's more. But
Yeah, that's Mort. Yeah, I was about to say, you know who that
I've
is.
never had to say your full name, Mort. And that's
What is the full Instagram handle?
Mortimer Mortensen.
Good Lord, yeah, that's
That's
a
a
mouthful.
mouthful.
If he has a friend named Rick.
Probably.
Oh, I was like, what?
Well, I mean,
Hey, we
The
have
guy-
something. I have something to break to you on the podcast today, and you're not gonna like it.
Me?
who?
Yeah,
I'm not
Clay.
gonna like it. If he's
me and Ryer talked about it at lunch today. An idea he had that we're gonna do.
And it's called Clay's Fired. And I get his paycheck.
No, it's not quite that bad.
But either way, I'm not gonna like
Clay's on permanent suspension for
You're
being
not
bald.
well. I know you're not gonna like
it.
it.
Am I not gonna?
I don't remember
Just
what this
could
is.
you please put your headphones on so I don't hear you just echo in the room?
Bo. I think Bo. We need to start holding a professional crap talking contest.
Oh, is Bo on there?
Bo is him, Chuck, and Mike Hearn. Probably some of the best crap talkers I've seen on our lives.
John Dudley.
Audio not bad.
Well, John
but
Dudley's
he doesn't
not
get on.
Yeah, he doesn't get on.
He's
yeah,
too cool for us.
yeah, he is, and he has to have time to
Bo-
listen to the
Bo-
podcast.
He has time to listen if he wanted to.
You know, I liked Bo, and I wished Bo the best, and I am about to resent that comment.
What did he say?
Audio not bad as the glare off of Clay's head. It's worse now because he got a haircut. So it's like now the
Why would
full-
you ever get a haircut?
I don't
Because
get
it looks better when all of it's short versus just the stuff on top being short.
All right, let's roll into the podcast.
I'm scared.
The Redneck Tech Podcast is brought to you by Mike'sArchery.com. They're a one-stop shop for virtually everything archery, bow hunting, and for your next outdoor adventure. Mike's Archery has been at the top of the archery game for over 50 years, and they want to give listeners of the Redneck Tech Podcast 10% off their entire online store using the code REDNECK10, all one word. Just put the code in before you check out, and your boys will hook you up. The guys at Mike's have always been good to us, and now they can be good to you too. Visit Mike'sArchery.com and get your gear now.
Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Yeah. You want him? Yeah. Welcome back to the Redneck Tech Podcast. Let me get my notes up here. This is episode number 133. We are actually probably not going to post this one immediately. We're going to hold this one off for
As long as we want.
next Monday, maybe. What's today? Monday this
Yeah, I feel
actually,
like-
we're actually doing one on Monday like we were supposed to.
I feel like we've really inundated people with podcasts. The
Well,
past
they
week.
went for 3 months without one, and then we gave
Yeah.
them, 2 or 3 in a row? 3 in a row.
So now we got to put y'all back on a diet now. You've gotten gluttonous with your podcast consumptions.
Things have gotten a little nutty around here. If you've not been keeping up with our social media, we announced yesterday that we are taking over Lee and Tiffany's production, which is overwhelming, to say the least. It's by far the biggest project in the outdoor space, and we think we can do it. We're going to work really hard to do it. I'm more than anything, I'm extremely humbled and honored to even have been considered to be someone to take over arguably the top, biggest, best show out there. It is going to be a monumental effort on our part. It is going to be a ton of work, and we're going to figure it out as we go. We know that there's some things that we need to improve on, logistics and planning and personnel and all the above, but we are going to hit it in the mouth the best that we can. I don't know, because we've known about this for, how long have we known about this? That it was a possibility.
2 months?
2 months.
Yeah, it's whenever
1 to 2 months.
the day that Clements was here for the podcast is when we found
His
out
name's
about
Thomas, by the way.
it. Yeah, Clements Thomas. That's what you know what I meant.
Just saying. Yeah, degraced his name once on the podcast.
I know. Sorry. His name is still in my phone as Clements Thomas, so it's still in my head that way. So we
can ask
we-
if you feel bad, we can ask Mort what he thought my name was.
What was your name? What did he think your name was? Mort, please comment what you thought his name was so I can read it.
He might not be on anymore, but he thought my name was Rufus for like 2 days, and he didn't think that was not my name.
Did he actually call you Rufus?
I think he did like once, and then Dad was like, "That's not his name." He's like, "Well, it is now." To me, it is.
To me, it is.
See, there he goes, Rufus with 2 S's at the end. So that's like
Nice.
Rufus.
Rufus. Like a snake.
Snake is snake.
So, yeah, we're idiots. We have no idea how we're going to do this, but we're going to figure it out. It's going to be fun. I've known Lee and Tiff for a long time. Haven't had the opportunity to work with them in years. But this was something that was mentioned to me that was a possibility months ago, and I'm like, yeah, right. And at the time, I was like, yeah, there's no way we can do that. That's too much. And then this decision kind of got made for us, and we did it, and we're going to do it, and we're going to do it the best we possibly can. God, y'all are like children.
I just took it from him just to see if he get pissed. He did.
So, with that big news, that kind of changes our gears, our plans, our everything for the fall. So, we're going to kind of give everybody an update on where we're at, what we're doing, and what our fall looks like. It's probably the craziest fall to date, and I didn't think that was possible until I kept running my mouth. So
Every time.
you're going to start hearing
Every
me
time.
talk less on the podcast about what we should and shouldn't do. I'm just going to try and be quiet. Or would like to do. So I'm going to try and start being a little more quiet. I'm going to turn us up just a hair. So what we've been doing the last couple of days is gearing up and getting gear ready for the run. So, Clay, you leave when?
Wednesday morning.
And you leave for your which is not really technically a fall trip, but you leave tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you still don't even know.
So, just an insight into working in the outdoor industry. I have a trip on my calendar for tomorrow. I know that we're going bow fishing. I know that it's in Venice, Louisiana.
Yeah, not Venice, Italy.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Almost the end of the earth.
That's what I've heard.
Venice, Louisiana.
And I know who I'm going with. That's all the information I have now. I don't know what time we're leaving.
Do you need more information than that, though?
I need to know whose car I need to get in, at what time,
Where you need to meet that person?
where that car will be.
Are there plans for that trip that you're not aware of?
I can tell you what vehicle you will not be getting in. You will be not be getting in the brand new lifted Ford F-350.
You don't think he'll drive his truck?
No way.
Really?
Oh,
No,
come on.
no
You don't
way.
think so?
No.
Well, Katie's taking me to the airport, so if you need my truck, you're more than welcome to it.
No,
If-
because then I'd have to drive it. If we do the other one, I maybe won't have to drive.
Okay.
I'll just be like, I can't drive that. I only drive a Toyota Tacoma.
I would be willing to bet, Brian, if you're listening to this, I love you. I would be willing to bet Brian is not driving this truck. Because it's a serious 8.5, 9 hour drive. And it is some rough roads once you get in Louisiana.
Is it?
Mississippi and Louisiana, just apparently they don't pay taxes. The roads are terrible.
Eh,
Potholes big enough to hide a dog in.
nice.
Yeah. On the interstate, too, no less. Not only the back roads are horrible.
This is the time where I use my driving reputation to go, do you really want me driving your truck in those kind of conditions?
Oh, he's going to ask if you can drive your truck, I bet.
You're gonna put
putting us in.
3 grown men plus
Wait.
gear in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, Billy will fly in. Billy's not driving. Yeah, right. Billy will
We
fly.
ain't- we ain't taking my truck, that's for sure. That would be stupid.
Take the Frequinox.
The
Oh.
Frequinox?
Yeah.
Does he still have that?
Yeah.
What is
Oh,
the
does he still-
Frequinox?
His company car is a Chevy Equinox, and he calls it the Frequinox.
Oh.
What the funniest thing ever, he was like, dude, I can't wait when we went to South Dakota. Oh, dude, I'm getting a new truck. I'm getting the Bronco, this and that.
Well, he
He
has been really excited. He might drive his
He
truck.
dog crapped that
Why would he-
Frequinox the entire time. We get to South Dakota, the only rental car they had was a Frequinox. He had to drive it in the camp.
Why wouldn't you, if you get the whole truck, why wouldn't you drive it?
That's my take on getting a vehicle. But I know, like, I'm not going to name names, but I know someone in particular that when they go on long trips, they rent something so they don't put miles on their personal vehicle. And I'm like, why would you buy a nice vehicle if you're not going to drive it? That's the entire reason you buy a nice vehicle is because you want to drive it and have your own vehicle. Like, I don't understand the thought process behind that. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thought process as the dude who parks like a butthole in the parking lot down here. Like, if you're that worried about your car, leave it in the garage.
Yeah, it's like people that buy
We're
old
gonna- I
cars
might-
and don't drive them.
I might have to take a picture of how that dude parks. Like, we'll obscure his license plate so we don't dox him or anything. But, like,
No,
every
dox him.
time I pull into our parking lot and I see this dude with his car parked like this, I want to fight him. Like, I just want to see him and be like, hey,
You
this
could
is...
take him. I've seen him.
You know
I
what,
know I could.
You know what? Something I found out about Ryer is Ryer's a mad individual. He's just mad a lot. He gets mad frequently and to a level that he shouldn't get mad to certain things.
I'm a ginger.
But it is funny.
It is funny.
The highlight of my morning is you walking in at 10:30 when I've already been here sometimes for like,
Except for today.
or almost,
Beating
or
him in for like a
I
week
was
and a
saying,
half.
or all of last week.
Yeah.
But like, I love coming in, sitting in my office, and I hear you come in and you say what's up, and I say sup, and then you're in your office for a solid 3 minutes, and you've already dog cussed your computer for 2.5 of those 3 minutes, and all you're trying to do is log in.
If it wouldn't do some dumb crap, I wouldn't have to cuss at
We're
it. That's
just-
like if people drove like they were supposed to, I wouldn't get mad. If dude parked his car like a regular human, I wouldn't get pissed. Like, it's not my fault.
Okay, so if Apple, if you're watching this, which we know you're not, please hurry up with the release of the new 27-inch iMac with M1 chips. Because
And put the USB slots on the front side. I'm
No,
tired of walking
not.
around my whole desk
That's
to
not
plug in a
that's
freaking...
not
It would be
happening.
cool if they put them on the bottom side so you could stick them like up.
Oh, well, then your cables are in the way. It's not going to happen.
When are they
Ryer.
gonna When are they gonna come out with hard drives,
What do you mean hard drives?
like travel
Apple?
drives?
Apple?
Think Apple ever will?
Why would they do that?
I don't know. It'll cost a fortune
They
if
make
they do.
everything else.
But then maybe you could airdrop to them. Could you imagine
Oh,
airdrop
That would
transferring?
be sick.
Wireless transferring with more speed?
To a drive?
With more speed?
That's
Yeah.
sick. Apple, I want my cut of that. If you ever.
Yeah, good
Even
luck
though
with
you've
that.
been working on it since '84.
So
Could
we
you
are.
imagine wireless transfers as you're recording? That's so the future.
All right, here we go. All right, so we're getting geared up for the first couple trips. We just made a bunch of Amazon purchases, and we actually got some new gear for some stuff. Actually, we took them downstairs. So we just bought. Whose phone is that?
That's mine. I'm sorry. I'll hear. I didn't think it would go off.
So anyway,
There we go.
I bought the new wireless mic Goes, the dual channel, the Rode wireless mic Goes.
Twos.
They're tiny. They're like this big. If you're watching the live stream, if you're not watching, they're
Imagine a $50 but in square form.
Who knows what a $50 is?
2
What is this,
inches by
1915?
2 inches by 2 inches.
I was trying to be informational.
2 inches by 2 inches, and they're really tiny. You can use them with or without a lav mic. I suggest using them with a lav mic. We've been trying for a solid hour to figure out how to make them stream audio to the Instagram Live, so you had good audio. Couldn't figure out how to do it.
We know how to get it out of the board, presumably, and we know how to get it into the camera.
We just don't have the right cable.
Or the phone, but yeah, we don't have the right cable.
Did you check to see once you had that cord plugged in if you had any audio options in your microphone in your settings on your phone?
No, I didn't know that Apple gave you that kind of.
I didn't know if it would once it recognized that it had a mic cable.
One time when I plugged it in the first time, it asked me if it was headphones, and I said no.
Here's our cable.
This is how we get it out of the board.
I'm going to order it right now. It's the TRRS to TRS. I'm going to order one.
What does TRS stand for anyhow?
No, I don't know. $10 ordered on the way on the podcast. So anyway, we've been ordering some stuff. So we've gotten those mics. I love the size. Sound quality's as good as any of the other ones. Haven't gotten to test the battery life yet. That's the next test. They don't run at AA's. They're all rechargeable. Everything's rechargeable. Ryer and Clay don't like that. I don't know if I like it yet or not.
You said you don't have a single thing so far.
I don't have.
Year
I'm
that's
gonna
AA.
run. I'm gonna try and run no AA's this year. That's my goal. I'm gonna see if I can run a whole system with no AA's. We're gonna see if it works.
Did you order those AA's, those rechargeables?
Yeah, there's like 4 separate shipments that are coming in at different times
okay.
of the different.
They're going to your
things.
house or my house?
Yours, I believe.
So
They show
got
up
those
at mine, I
mics.
guess, as
Once I use them enough, I will report back on how I like them. I've heard good things. Matthew Postwell showed us a way to get it into the phone, so we just obviously didn't have the right cable to do it. We now have the right cable. I just bought it, so we're going to try that next. And then another thing that we bought another thing that we got is the new GoPro lights, and of course I forgot to bring that up here too. I'll try and leave a link to all this stuff in the podcast notes. There is GoPro finally made something good. It's a tiny little light. I mean, this sucker is.
We can just go get it. I have one sitting on
I'll
my.
get it.
I have one sitting in the table behind my desk.
We'll go get it for the live stream so you guys can see
We
it.
could even turn off all of our lights and
I'll
turn
get
it
the
on.
microphones too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work. So we ordered this little GoPro light
Can you
because
give me a coffee? It was worth a shot.
because Stephen Hallman from Interrupted Outdoors and the Interrupted Podcast showed it to us. And Winter Production says the battery life is 7 hours supposedly. I heard 8 hours. He must be talking about the roads.
It's pretty good.
I'm hoping that if it's 7 or 8 hours, then that's perfect. Now, then we'll see how long it lasts. Like if we get a whole year or two out of them, then I'll be stoked. But anyway, we're going to I bought lights, these lights for everybody. Oh, there's the
Oh,
microphones.
I thought I saw like 3 of them flying
So,
at me at one time.
Here's the Rode mic. Let me see if you can even see this on the stream. So this is there we go. It's tiny, man. I mean, itty bitty little thing. But the crazier thing is this light is even smaller. It comes with a little white diffuser. I mean, this sucker is so bright.
Here,
and
let's turn the lights off and see how bright it is.
Oh, it's gonna SOS. Off. Okay.
Seizure alert.
All right, seizure alert. All right, so we're going to turn off all the lights and let you see how bright it is. We don't know the answer to this, so we're going to check. There's one more.
All the lights.
All the lights. Yeah, might as well go all of them. So there's everything off. This guy hates some light. So I mean, that's as far away as a camera would be. I mean,
Go out.
this
out
thing
there
is
and see
yeah.
like how much illumination
This thing
we
is
get from a
so
distance.
this thing is so little. Like I can't even explain how little it is. I mean, you can see us, but it's dark. But with the FX6, I mean, Yeah, we're with the FX6. That's 10, 12 feet away. With the FX6, man, it's going to be dumb good. All right, we can turn the light back on.
On the live stream, it looks pretty good with just that little bit of light.
Yeah. Dude.
I mean, the ISO is probably
So
stupid
you
on
can
that
buy
camera,
you can buy those for like, I think we bought them off of the GoPro website for like $37 a piece. You can get them off Amazon for $50. And then this comes with 2 mics and the receiver with no cables for $300, and the cables are about $100 a piece. So you're looking at $500 for the set of these, but
That,
that
sounds expensive, but Ryer has the same thing from Sony, and it's like $1,700.
there's a reference in my hand how little it is. It's so tiny.
So Ryers are
That's mine.
Ryers are $1,700 that do the same thing as that, and they're from Sony. So
Yeah, and if these are comparable to the Sonys, we're going to be selling those Sonys and getting another set of these and making money back. You don't want to get rid of your Sonys now?
I don't know.
I don't know. So you like them?
I do. I like them, and the main thing that I like about the Sonys that does not have is the hot shoe capabilities.
Yeah.
I mean, so while you're getting dual channel off of those, what you're not getting is the ability to put 2 channels into an FS7 or an FX6 or potentially an FX3 or any of Sony's cameras, I assume, through a hot shoe, meaning I don't have to connect cables to my XLR jacks to get those channels into my camera.
Yeah.
It puts them in channel wherever I want, which allows me to, as a single shooter, I can run a shotgun mic. I could run another shotgun mic, and then 2 channels of audio from the lav mics. Or what I usually do is I run a shotgun, I run a cable for my main person as like a redundant, and then I put the 2 channels of audio in 3 or 4. So I have 1 redundant channel for my lav mics.
Well, you can do that with these 2.
It goes into the camera
And
via a hot shoe?
No, but it goes into one side of the XLR, and then you still have the other XLR. So it's 2 channels going into one XLR.
Is it a stereo split?
I don't know. Haven't gotten that far yet.
I'd be curious.
But this it will run 2 microphones.
Right, I know it will.
But does it split them in post?
Oh, I doubt it.
Well, that's kind of important.
Yeah, it is important.
Because if you're just taking 2 and merging them into one channel,
Then if someone's talking and you want to cut them out, you can't do that. So we should probably test that.
Yeah.
I would hope it would do a stereo split like what a DSLR does.
Yeah.
Where
But how
one
would
is
it do
on
that in
left and one is on right.
But how would it do that through XLR? It wouldn't.
I have no idea. You'd
Yeah,
have
we
to
need
test
to-
it.
yeah, we need to test it. So we'll get back to you on that one. Some other stuff that we bought that we always have to have is gaff tape. I don't use it as much as I normally do. Ryer uses it a bunch. Clay always has some with him. We got UV filters, which virtually we use them to protect the glass of the lens. We got replacement ones of those because all the ones from last year are scratched up and nicked and cracked, and some of them are broken. So we just replaced those. They're 67 millimeter, 77 millimeter filters, and then our big lens is like a 83, 82 millimeter filter. I don't know if we replaced that one, but
the big cinema lens is at like a 95.
Oh wow! So
which
you got
should
one.
be on the way.
Oh okay, you
Yeah,
got that
because
one
I
too.
was nervous running that in Hawaii without one.
So
I thought I had one, and then I got there. I was like, oh crap!
what's some other stuff that we were missing going into the fall that you guys wanted to have?
Ryer got a screwdriver set.
Yeah, I got a screwdriver set. I got you. Did you see that I gave you a suction cup mount?
I did, thank you.
Good
You're
one.
the best.
So we all 3 have one of those now. We all 3 got GoPro lights. Didn't I order 4 of those GoPro lights?
Yeah, Courtney,
No.
Courtney got
Yeah.
one.
It's in the box.
Courtney got one, yeah.
Okay.
We
So
also we got sorry.
go ahead.
You looked at me like I had interrupted.
No, you're fine.
Probably.
I was just because we got the Clay and I we're not doing a double A-less. We're not trying to go without double A's this season, but instead of buying a giant pack of double A's for $30 every time we go on a trip, we are going to be using and trying out a rechargeable double A set.
I'm still going to buy a pack of double A's to keep with me just in case until I see how they
There
do.
should be a
Yeah.
whole pack.
I
in
have,
it.
I
I was
have
about
some.
to say.
I'm just like for this first trip, since it's 2 weeks long, or I guess it's 30 days long, but
Yeah.
the first hunt, like I'm gonna carry double A's with me just to see
Yeah.
how they work, and then after that because when I first got here, you were running the rechargeable double A's, but I kind of poo-pooed on it because you could only charge 4 at a time. And I like to have as many double A's as possible because, sitting in a stand when it's 30 degrees or even colder than that, I've gone through 2 sets per receiver and transmitter on a lav mic, so I like carrying as many as possible, and I don't want to have to just be able to charge 4 at a time. But you found the one that I think you could charge 8 at a time.
Yeah, you can go 8 at a time, and there's 2 options, and really the only major difference between the 2 options was the type of charging cable it used. One of them used basically a proprietary charging cable. Not proprietary, but kind of the same one that the Sony battery chargers use.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one used a typical mini USB, and we chose to go with the one that had a mini USB for the simple fact of I've got 5 million mini USBs around.
Yes, so do
So I don't have to keep track of like a special cable. I hate that the most. Like something that has a special cable is the most annoying thing because you only ever have one of them, and if you lose that one cable, then you can't charge whatever it is. Like the Garmin watches, I hate that they have a special cable and not like a USB-C or a regular USB because I have to keep track of that one cable, and if I forget it or lose it, then my watch is down until I can get it back to wherever I'm at.
Well, and you're carrying the cable for that one thing. Where like I have, I think 3 or 4 mini USBs, and that'll charge like 8 different things that I carry.
Yeah.
So what you're hearing is, for us, half of our time is spent charging, uploading, dumping, moving crap around, just so we can go out and work. Like we have whole packs or whole like kits that's just for charging. There's DSLR batteries. Now there's microphones. There's camera batteries. There's
Lights.
laptops, lights, drones. I mean, everything's got a battery that's got to be charged. So, I mean, if I had all the time back that I waited spending on batteries to charge or status bars to get done from dumping footage or exporting something, I'd have a lot of free time. Yeah. It takes a lot of time.
As much as we have to carry, it's nice knowing that we can carry 1 or 2 of something that will work on 7 or 8 of something else.
Yeah. I usually carry like 4 or 5 USB, like mini USBs, because they charge most everything. Or now everything's converting to USB-C. That's what this is. These are USB-Cs on this one, or USB 3. A lot of people call them USB 3s.
I'm a little annoyed at the USB-C right now just because my computer doesn't have USB-C, so it's a pain because I don't know, it's just annoying.
Yeah. So that's I
might get a new one.
What else did we get other than obviously we got the FX6s, which I still don't have one. You guys have one. What else did we get for the fall that we haven't had yet? Is that it?
A lot of this other stuff that I got was kind of just new or replacement pieces for stuff that had worn out over use. Mm-hmm. So like a case for my drone because the zipper gave out on my other one. Like the gimbal holder for the drone because I lost it. UV filters just to have a fresh set of UV filters on all of the lenses. New foam for the case because I'll be taking the foam out that has been for the FS7 and replacing it with a setup for the FX6 since that'll be the camera package that I'm running. And then I got rain gear from Sitka, so
we got the new 28 to 200 lenses from Tamron. We haven't ran those yet.
I'm going to be running that on this next trip and evaluating whether or not I want to make that my go-to lens for.
So I need to put that in our notes. I'd like to talk about. We need to do a whole like podcast on like some of the new gear. Let me write that down while I'm thinking about it. Redneck Tech podcast notes.
Are you taking one with you, Caleb?
28. No, not on this first trip. 28 to 200 lens review, and then we need to do the Rode Wireless Go review. So that's something we need to talk about once we get through the fall. I can't spell lens. There it is.
I'm debating on whether I'm going to take one of those or not to try it out.
Is there still one in there? I bought 2 of them.
There's 2. But the problem is if I take it and end up not using it for 30 days and I can't get it back and someone wants to try
Well, you
it.
can ship it. I mean, you can always ship it somewhere.
I'm going to be in the middle of Utah. I'm not going to drive all the way to town. Just
Well,
to
you've
ship
got to come through.
it. Yeah.
I mean, you obviously can't ship it in the middle of a trip, but
yeah.
as you come through Salt Lake or something, you can ship it.
Yeah.
I would take it just so you could have it. And, which you'll be gone by the time he gets back, won't you? I would suggest trying it. It's going to be a great all-around lens for what you're doing. It really will be. I would at least have it with me. And that's the great thing about, because I'll have a gap in between trips, and so will he. So if we need a third one, I'll order a third one if you really like it. I think you're just going to like Ryer said, how close it'll focus, and then having that 28 all the way to 200 range, for hunts or
My only
B-roll.
problem is I wouldn't take pictures with it. So I'd be carrying that plus everything else I would take pictures with.
Because you're using a Sony. I got to
no, because if someone kills something, I'm gonna take the pictures with my 70 to 200 at f4 or f3.5. I wouldn't take it at 6.3 like that lens is.
I think it's a 2.8 to 5.6 as high as it goes. Isn't that what it is? Anyway,
so.
We're talking about the Tamron 28 to 200. It's a variable f-stop. So the f-stop varies. It'll go down to 2.8 at 28 millimeters. And as you zoom out, that goes all the way out to 5.6 is as low as it goes at the end of the lens. But that varies throughout the focal length as you zoom out. That changes as you zoom. That's the only drawback to it. But I think it's a brand new lens is like $700. Dude, you can't beat it. Not for a hunt lens. For a tree stand lens especially, it's really good for that, really short, tight, talking shots to the long, getting over somebody's shoulder for a kill. You can do both. Very few lenses can do both. Usually, they're 24 to 105, and 105 is not quite enough, but 200 is plenty for a bow hunt. So we're going to try it. I was told about it by, who told me about that lens? Pretty sure it was
We learned about it.
Thomas.
We learned about it.
Thomas told us about it. So we're trying it. I bought 2 of them. If we don't like them, we'll sell them. So be on the lookout for that. If we sell them, that means we didn't like them. Next thing I wanted to talk about was some of the first hunts we've got. Obviously, now doing Lee and Tiffany. So the way things are laying out right now is, for those of you that keep up with who we're working with and everything, we're no longer doing Red Arrow. We're doing the Crush. We're doing Hunt Masters. We're doing Spy Point. We're doing stuff with Chuck with Hunting Habit when he has time to do it. We're doing stuff with Rolly White. We're doing stuff with Ernie Santana within season. And we're doing stuff with Rambo.
Dudley.
And we're doing stuff with Dudley. That's what I was getting to, because I'm still going to be with Dudley for most of the fall. I'm got to leave with him on Thursday to go to Montana. And we've got 3 elk hunts back to back to back. And the first one's at Timberline. So I'm going to die physically on that one. That's going to be fun.
Where's that at?
It's in Colorado. It's really, really high up there.
Backpacking in?
Mm-hmm. No. No. I'll explain later. And so
If you can't
plan-
come back to the Traeger, it's
the plan for the fall, this is how, perfect world, don't get me wrong, perfect world, is I'm going to try and manage all of it, from a 10,000 foot view. Ryer's going to be the point man on everything Hunt Masters. Clay is going to be the point man on everything Crush. So, and then I'm going to be the point man for if they can't answer something or don't know something, and then everything else. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot to manage. You guys all know that we hired Courtney Stevie out of Kansas, who is going to be, her main job is going to be working with Clay on Lee and Tiff. She's obviously going to cross-train and do other things as well. But we've got Spy Point trips all fall. We've got Huntmaster trips all fall. Lee and Tiff trips all fall. We've got a couple hunts with Rolly White. And then, what am I forgetting? We got Rambo content we're doing all the way throughout this. It's going to be a lot, but it's going to be fun too. We're gonna bust it all the way through the fall again, and then we'll pick it right back up, and it'll be over before you know it. I mean, the fact that it's August the 16th right now is just unbelievable to me, that we are already over halfway through August, and we're about to go on our first trips. And once the first trips happen, it is just a domino effect. They just back to back to back to back to back, and they just never end, it doesn't seem like. And then just one day they're over. And then we're sitting here in the office going, oh, man, we really need a break. But I don't know about you guys. You know, we'll go through the fall, and it'll seem like it's the longest fall ever, but it also seems like it goes by like this. And then we get to January, and we do ATA show, and then we're like, man, I'd really like another trip again. I'd like to go somewhere. I'd like to do this. That's how I am. Like, give me a good week break, and I'm ready to go again.
Yeah.
But the problem with this fall is there's going to be some breaks, but not a lot. I don't know if we're going to get full week breaks. We're going to try and keep you updated. I'm going to try and take the podcast board with me on some trips. So they might not be live podcasts, but we're going to do some hopefully on the road. Hopefully get Lee and Tiffany to do some. Hopefully do some more with Greg, Brian and Chuck and whoever we're with. Dudley, if we have time. So I don't know. We'll see. We don't really know. I know we've got a lot of trips. My first trip is, like I said, to Montana for antelope with Dudley. You leave to go do mule deer, and then after your bow fishing, your first one's with me to Maine, right? So I'm doing Montana, then Maine, and then Colorado, Utah, Montana again. What's your first 3 or 4?
I'll get back to you on that.
Clay? What you got?
Utah, and then Colorado, antelope if they tag out early enough in Utah.
Pray they do.
3-day break, Kentucky whitetails. Then I have a week in Nebraska for myself.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
And
I want to talk about some personal stuff too.
Back to Utah for elk, and then back to Colorado again for elk, and then home. So that'll be close to 45 days straight for me.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a lot of fun though. I mean, you're gonna get to see some cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And Ryer's got some. You've got a Nevada one. That's not the right calendar. There's not enough stuff on that calendar. Oh, you've just got your calendar open?
Yeah, I need to go add yours because some of the trips I haven't added to mine. There's so many trips on. If you open up all of our calendars, there's too many, and I don't know always which. I have 4. If you guys have ever looked at a Google calendar, I have 4 bars for 7 months.
I wonder if it would be easier to start categorizing that by person versus by.
Well, I'm trying to do it by color.
Caleb has to do it by color.
But then we would have 3 colors. Every trip you go on has your color, then his color, then my color.
Yeah, but if we have together trips.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's probably
and I
better
try and
to
put
do.
everybody's name on them, who's going on
Yeah.
what. Yeah, there's not the best. As much as we've got going, there's just not a way to put it all on there in a nice, pretty way.
My way of doing it is once you'll put in the calendar that there's a trip, and obviously in parentheses you say who's on the trip.
Yeah.
And then I go, and because I have 2 Google accounts, I just copy that
into your
to
personal
my
one.
personal, and then that way I can just filter by mine.
What he's telling you is he's not smart enough to look at our company calendar and figure out where he's going and where he's not going.
That's not true at all. I could look at it and do that.
Is that his AC? His
ACDC?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. His ADHD won't let him
It's a
look
hell
at
of a
that
drug.
many. It won't let him look at that many things.
You guys don't even understand how my brain works.
It's a hell of a drug. You wouldn't understand.
I don't understand.
But you know what? You guys are lucky to have somebody with ADHD in the office because actually, in some regards, it is a strength. So my brain can do things that y'all's can't. So, and yours obviously does a lot of things. Mine doesn't.
See 2 things at once?
I can see 2 things at once. My brain cancels out one of the images. It's just that smart. It's basically like denoising my vision. Does your brain denoise your image?
It's not noisy.
No, exactly.
ISO stays low, bro.
Yeah, well.
So your nose is in your view right now, and your brain just cancels it out until you pay attention.
I'm at 1.8.
God dang.
So I go to Maine with you, and then mule deer in Nevada, and then to an elk hunt in Utah, although a different place than where y'all will be.
Oh, he's not going to be with us?
Mm-mm.
That sucks.
And then we've got October, we've got in Illinois. The rest of will probably be in Illinois the rest of the year.
Illinois or Missouri.
Illinois.
I'm
In
gonna.
October.
I mean, I've got you on those trips, but those aren't for sure. Like past October 1, like we don't know where who's going. I'm just setting stones through September right now. The rest of it's gonna be kind of, all right, who's burnt, who needs time off, who needs to go here, and then I'm gonna fill gaps, and then freelance people will fill gaps. You know, all the above. That's my phone. Sorry.
Oh, he's doing the live.
Yeah, hold on. I was gonna try and tell Walt's trying to call me from Osceola. Tell him I'll call him back. Sorry.
I was kind of hoping that Brian would call me during the podcast and we just patch him into the board.
Oh, that would have been cool.
That would have been fun.
So what else have I got? Clay, you're going to Nebraska for a personal hunt this year, midway through, for mule deer. And I drew a Kansas whitetail tag for November. Still working on plans for that, whether or not I'm even going to get to go. I'm not doing an elk hunt this year and don't have time. And I'll be with Dudley for virtually all of September. So there's no time for me to do an elk hunt. I'll be doing plenty of elk hunting, just not for myself, which is fine. I've gotten to elk hunt since 2017, so 17, 18, 19, 20. So 4 years in a row I've gotten to go on elk hunt, so I can't really complain. I've only killed an elk 2 of those years, but
That's still
that's
not bad.
pretty good.
50%.
yeah. Well, both
With all the
wrong.
whitetail hunting you've done, your
Both
elk percentages are better.
Oh, yeah, my elk percentage is way better than my whitetail percentage, which is saying something. Just because I'm just an awesome elk hunter, let's be honest.
Right.
So what are some things that you guys learned last year in the fall? Especially, this question is more for Clay because Ryer had already done one run. This was your first, fall, hard at it. What did you learn last year that you weren't expecting? What's some things that you kind of took away, like, this is more than I bargained for, less than I bargained for, I like it, hated it, this, that, and the other?
I would say just keeping up with the daily stuff.
Yeah.
Like keeping a running log, whether it's in your head or on my phone, of what I've done, what I need to do, whether that's on a shoot or back at the office, and we're sitting in a stand and I'll sit there and nothing to do. I'll just make notes of what comes to my mind, or just that way I don't get back to the office and be like, what's that one thing I thought of while I was sitting there or whatever. So
in terms of pace, what do you think about the pace of how fast things went? You were cool with that?
yeah, I was fine with it. I didn't really do a lot of come back for 2 or 3 days and then leave again, because that one trip I did was 32 days straight. So that was a bulk of my stuff.
Yeah. But overall was good?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're about to do it again to an even higher level, so it's going to be fun. Ryer, what did you learn last fall that you want to try and implement this year? Learn from?
I mean, I think a lot of the things that I learned from last fall, I didn't learn until editing season.
Oh, really?
Because a lot of the stuff that, because it was my second season, so as far as just the getting used to the logistics and having a streamlined method of packing and unpacking and leaving and flying and going places and knowing your kit and all that, I had that down. Obviously, I'm continually refining that all the time.
Oh, yeah, me too. Or trying to refine it anyway.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of the stuff that I learned have to do with trying to keep up with both data, organization, and standardization throughout the shooting season, especially when working on a single product, right? So when you have a show like Hunt Masters, where there's maybe 5 people rotating in and out, 2 at a time basically, except for one trip there's 3 people. 2 trips there was 3 shooters, but most of the other trips were 2 shooters. I don't think that I fully grasped how important one, standardization was across all the shooters.
And cameras.
And cameras. And this year, luckily, it seems as if we will be largely shooting all on the same camera, which will be very helpful. And I've set in place a kind of they're not written down yet. I need to do this, but kind of some standard operating procedures to make sure that all the cameras are set to the same settings, kind of synced, not like time code synced, but at least time synced, and that all the shooters are on the same page going into every trip, and then making sure that we're keeping good track of everything that happens day to day along the season, because when you're like on a trip, remembering things that happened 3 days ago is not a big deal, right? You'd be like, oh yeah, I remember we saw this buck in this stand, and I was with this person, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. But when you come back to edit that, and it's 4 months later, trying to find that encounter that you vaguely remember that you have, but any details of like what day it was, who shot it, on what camera, all that kind of stuff, you like can't pull that up in your brain. And so having a really detailed running list of notes of everything that happens every day, anything that's important, any skits that are shot, any items of note, just things that when you get back to edit and you go, okay, now I need to cut this scene, or I need to find this footage, or what happened here, or whatever, you have running notes for that. And just trying to keep on top of that, I think, is the importance of that. And now this year I'm going to be trying to implement some of that stuff and refining, I guess you would call it the project management side of things.
Yeah.
And being
well, time. You just get back to get into the editing season, and you realize if I would have done these things in the moment, how much time it would have saved me now.
Or how much better something might look, or how much different you might be able to edit it, or like how it would save you some time or effort in your workflow.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows how important workflows are, and a workflow does not start when you get back from a trip. Your workflow begins before you leave for a trip.
Oh yeah.
I mean, technically, your workflow starts whenever you begin planning whatever it is you're shooting. And that's another thing that we learned last year, especially, is that for a show like Huntmasters, going into each trip with a more detailed idea of what story you want to tell with that trip is, I think, going to really help us refine some of the storylines before we get to editing, which, again, saves you time in editing because you don't have to sit there and try to plan out the storyline as much. You kind of already have an idea, you shot for that idea, and now you can execute that in editing as opposed to kind of just finding it as you go along.
Yeah. You know something I just realized? This fits in a hot shoe mount perfectly.
Yeah, but it's not a hot shoe.
I know. It'll fit, or a cold shoe.
Yeah.
That's where it's made to mount. Just realized that while I was playing with it.
That's pretty
Because I was worried about where I was going to mount it, but I was like, no. Slide that sucker right in there. There she goes. I'm a genius. I know. So that's all I had for the podcast. Anybody got any questions? Do we have any questions from the
What have you learned in the past year that you're going to implement?
Yeah. Why don't you get to tell us about it?
I've learned that I need more time at home than I used to. With 3 kids and a wife and a business and everything else, I've realized that I can't. I need a better schedule for myself. I need to be able to. Perfect world, I'd be gone a week or two, home a week. Gone a week or two, home a week. I obviously know that that's not possible. I obviously know that that's a pipe dream. I would love to have that schedule for you guys too. But it's managing and running the business correctly, and the things that I've learned in my years of like what not to do once things get to this level. It takes way more time than I ever planned on. To stay in constant communication with clients, with you guys, with, logistics planning. Now we got to have a bookkeeper. It's getting to be too big, or bigger than I ever thought. And with that comes a lot of other stuff. And I have other things that I want to work on. I have other things that I want to plan for. I have, like, Ryer and I talked about some ideas, which we're going to have an idea for podcast in a minute.
I thought you had bad news for me.
No. Well, yeah, we're going to get to that. I have some ideas on some things that I want to do.
To be fair, I don't know what the bad news is. He's saying, like,
you'll remember. It was your idea.
Of course it was.
Well, it wasn't to be mean for you, but you're not going to like it. It was... I just learned that there's
the ideas, man.
There's a lot of stuff to do, and there's a lot of stuff I want to do that if I don't have the time to dedicate to the planning and making phone calls and running things down and to pre-production, they'll never happen, and I want them to happen. And if I don't have the mental capacity to do multiple things at once, I have to, like, when y'all comes in my office and I'm doing stuff, I always say, like, hold on a second, let me finish what I'm doing, because I can't do what I'm doing and talk to you at the same time. I can't do two things effectively. I have to finish one thing, then move to the next, and move to the next. And I've learned, like, I can't plan for these bigger ideas and projects when I'm not here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't. It's like I sent an email from on the side of the mountain when I was with Dudley to somebody else, and they read the email and completely took it the wrong way. And that's another reason I hate email. I'd rather just call somebody. And I literally replied back, hey, I should have called you instead of writing an email while I was in between targets. But, like, you know how I am. I hate letting someone hang. Like, I don't, like, I'm crazy about communication. So instead of waiting until I got off the mountain 3 hours later, I just emailed them right then. And they read the email completely different than I wanted them to take the email. And so I had to mitigate a disaster that I created because I couldn't do two things at once. I just wrote something quick and then thought I fixed it and then just made it worse.
And the worst thing is, like, you want to check your emails and your text messages and you read it and then you go to respond and you don't have enough signal to send that text or email, and then it sits there and stirs in your brain for hours and hours and hours till you get out of the woods.
Yeah, and it's better. It's almost better that I don't check things in the field because that's how I am. Like, I just ponder on them and think about them, and then my mind's in one place when it should be in another. So that's part of the reason that I need more time to do other things. But I'm getting better. I'm getting there. And with you guys handling not handling, but heading up Hunt Masters and heading up the Crush and kind of making those your baby, that's going to...
a lot of the questions off of you.
Well, not the questions, but a lot of the daily administrative stuff. I mean, if you guys can handle a lot of that, and then when it gets to be something major, like, hey, I need your help on this, that's where I want to be able to try and come in. But if it's something, I want you guys to be able to handle. I mean, you've already done Hunt Masters for a year. Clay, this will be new to you, but I mean, you kind of know the gist.
I've seen what he's gone through and what I need to try to avoid.
Well, and you've got Nate there in your corner. Yeah. I mean, and Nate's,
I don't have to edit it.
Yeah, and Nate's done it for 9 or 10 years, so he knows it.
That's where a lot
of
my questions. I've asked him a lot of questions that, like, you don't even know about. Like, yo, you're touching on the back end. How do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's been nice.
So it's gonna be good. We're gonna learn a lot, and I'm sure we'll make mistakes, but that's part of learning and growing. But I've learned that I got to make more time for stuff that I haven't made time for, and it's not the stuff that I want to make time for, but it's the stuff that's necessary for us to continue to. I guess like what me and you talked about at lunch. Just more time for the things that hopefully continue our growth, and make money for everybody. I mean, because that's what we obviously love what we do, but we're not making money, then what's the point? So I guess that's if I had to touch on one thing. And even if I take all those things away, I got three kids and a family and everything else. It's a lot. It's a ton of stuff.
Ryan Boatner is calling me from Unguided Outdoors. Should we have him on the podcast?
I don't know. See what he wants.
What's up, dude?
This should be fun.
Hey, I'm in the middle of a podcast. Do you want to be on it?
And ask a question?
Or you want me to call you back afterwards? All right. Okay. I will call you back after. Bye.
So, for those of you listening and watching, we get calls like this, I don't know, a couple times a week from people that we know and we work with and people that have come to classes. We're just constantly trying to answer questions for people. So
Believe it
that's
or
what
not,
we're here.
I don't get very many questions.
I believe that.
I'm serious. I don't.
Ryer gets more than I do now. A lot of people start asking Ryer, which I'm completely okay
get
with.
Many at all. Mainly.
Everybody, send your questions now to Clay.
Well, here's the thing. So I have access to the Redneck Tech Instagram.
I know. This makes you sound like you don't. This makes you sound like a jerk.
But I am not logged into it all the time. I'm only logged in when I'm posting something. So Ryer gets all the notifications. So I don't know when you people ask questions because I'm not logged into it.
So here's a question for you because I know you've done this. Has anyone ever used a Sigma camera or Sigma lens on a Canon camera? Isn't your new 7200? Oh, it's a Tamron?
I've used.
We'll now be fielding questions. This is now the questions portion of the show.
I've used Sigma, but on my Sony, not on a Canon.
Oh, I thought. What's the new 7200 you got?
Tamron.
Isn't our 150 to 600
It's a
Sigma?
Sigma, yes.
Because I've used that on the Canon.
Yeah, me too.
I think I used it for pictures.
Our art lens that we had with the red that we ran it on our Canon cameras too. It was a Sigma.
Every Sigma I've ever ran has been beautiful.
Yeah, they're great lenses.
No matter what camera I've used it on.
Was the Sigma a Canon E-mount?
No.
Because I don't remember having to have an adapter.
No,
for
it was an EF.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
EF mount, yeah.
So I guess the question would be, what do you want to know about running on a Canon camera? I mean, I autofocused. It's probably not going to be.
Oh, Bo's already replied. I run a Sigma 70-200 with my Mark IV.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's a little slower with focus than the Canon 7200. If that makes sense. Riggs Media, thanks. I'm looking for a wide angle without dropping $2,000. You're not going to get a fast lens then.
That's the only drawback.
That's the only drawback.
You pay for speed.
Yep. And when we say fast lens, that's a lens that's like 2.8 or lower. It's usually a lens that's not considered a fast lens. It's like an f4 or f5.6, something like that.
Do you know where the term fast comes from?
Because your focus falls off fast.
No, I don't.
So I'm probably going to butcher this because I'm going to look it up just to make sure. But
when in reality, he's looking it up because he doesn't know.
No. Do you want me to say what I'm thinking before I look it up? You guys confirm.
Just look it up.
So
Jesus.
it has to do with in the same lighting conditions, a 2.8 does not require as slow as a shutter speed. So you can use a faster shutter speed, which is why it's called.
Yeah,
is why it's called a fast lens.
That makes sense.
Because the lower the f-stop, the faster of a shutter speed you can get away with to get the same exposure.
Yeah, well, if I would have thought about it, I probably could have come up with that on my own, but that makes sense.
I'm sorry, I guess my information is useless. Nobody appreciates
Not
me.
completely useless, but it's, that's okay.
Okay, so we've got a few questions from the Instagram stories today.
Winter Production says he's gonna ask you some questions, Clay, about some real estate stuff he's trying to get into.
That's perfectly fine.
Also, weddings. If you need to know about wedding videography, I mean, not getting married. Clay hasn't done that yet, but if you need to know about filming weddings, Clay would be your guy.
Here's your advice: don't do it. I take that back. It's really good.
Clay, you helped. Devin said that you helped him out with some questions back in the day.
Yeah, but I think that's because Devin messaged me personally.
Well, that's what we're talking about. They message us personally, too.
Oh. Then I for sure don't get a lot.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, they message the podcast. They message Cope Creative. They message Ryer. They message everywhere. All over the place.
See, what I found, I think
I get emails,
I don't.
Instagrams. I get everything.
See, what I found is people are a little bit afraid of you because
Why?
you're El Presidente.
Do I come off as dumb?
I'm the...
It's just like...
Yes.
I'm not a smart man.
Oh, God.
You're El Presidente, and so people don't necessarily want to message you because they're afraid of taking out too much of your time.
I don't care if people ask questions at all, but I'm completely okay also with them messaging you as well.
It's like, I'm very scary. I will yell at you if you ask questions.
No, I'm not. Yeah, never.
Okay, so the Slick7 at the Slick7 on Instagram asks, "Do you use deer pee as a beard supplement during the season?"
God.
No, but should I? The problem with that is I feel like then a buck would come in and try to hump me in my face, and I don't want that. You know what I mean?
Once he saw your face, he wouldn't.
I think, I don't know which one is better, if he would or wouldn't. Because, like, if he wouldn't, it'd be because he recognizes I'm a human.
Oh,
If he
God.
would, then it would mean that my face looks like the back end of a dough. And I don't want that. Okay, Big Daddy Hauser. I like that Instagram name. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 things to do when traveling to another job while in the passenger seat. I made everybody answer individually because
forgot.
I wanted, well, you get to go first and pick 5. Because I wanted to hear how everybody spends their time in the passenger seat differently. Clay?
I wrote it down. I got.
Oh, so you did answer. You just didn't
I
send it
think
to
I
Ryer.
got 3.
Pick 2 more. Did you do this on your college assignments?
No.
Okay.
1 would be editing pictures because I like to edit pictures on the road. 2 would be social media. 3 would be sleep.
Not much of a sleeper in the passenger seat.
Me?
What's
Yeah.
4?
Oh, did you not just hear I said I got 3, not 5?
Okay, pick 2 more. Think on the spot. Chop, chop. Lickety split.
Text messages and research stuff that Caleb makes me research because he's usually driving.
Oh, well, this is true.
What'd you put, Caleb?
I put on there emails and texts. Always trying to stay up on that. Social media. I like to pick the music. I work on my laptop, usually when I get tired of looking at my phone. And then finding the next place to eat because I like to eat. There's a flow chart. If you've not seen this, we'll try and find it. And I know Chuck and John used to have it. Is the driver is responsible for driving. The passenger is responsible for navigation and music. And the back seat have 0 responsibilities.
I thought backseat was
But
backseat
where-
was snack distribution.
Where does food fall into that? Because someone has food responsibilities.
Well, I guess that technically would fall on the passenger seat again.
No, the
long as it
back
falls on
seat is
somebody.
Chuck,
snack
I'll
distribution.
text Chuck to text me the flow chart because
I
there is
know
a
that
flow
the
chart.
back, there's one seat in the back that doesn't have any. So my number 1 was drink coffee. My number 2 was eat snacks. My number 3 was watch TikToks. My number 4 was sleep. And number 5 was look out for cops. And then
Those are so Ryer answers too.
and then my number 5.5 bonus number 6 is ask the driver annoying questions and ponder hypothetical scenarios.
I do ponder hypothetical scenarios a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't put that on there, but I do that. That's just me though.
And then okay. So Tree Talking Media would like to hear more about your DSLR setup.
My DSLR setup.
I'm not sure. Our Redneck Tech.
So I don't know which DSLR setup you're talking about. That's a 6D that we're running through an encoder. It's how we're getting the live stream. Pretty simple.
With a 50 millimeter prime on
50
there.
millimeter prime, just pull focus. Don't put it on autofocus. If you're looking at the Instagram, that's just off a phone because Instagram is archaic. It makes you use a phone. DSLR setup that I run, that I'll be running probably most of the fall, is going to be my R5. I'm running Canon EF glass, not the R glass. So it's just got the R to EF adapter. And then I'm running the Rode. Give me a second and I'll tell you exactly which Rode I'm running as a shotgun. Give me a second here. That's why I have my computer. This is like Jamie. Look up that Rode microphone. It is the Rode VidMic Pro Plus compact directional on-camera shotgun condenser microphone. I ordered it literally almost a year to the day today. So that is what I ordered. That is what I've been running. It has been great. It's rechargeable, micro USB. It's about $300. It's been the best on-camera mic I've had.
Is that the one that turns on when the camera turns on?
Turns on when the camera turns on, turns off when the camera turns off. Yes, it is incredibly. I'm about to order a dead cat for it right now because I've been looking for that forever. It will be here, I'm sure, after I need it to be here.
A dead cat is the fuzzy that goes over the microphone.
Yes.
It's not an actual deceased feline.
But it's funner to call it a dead cat.
It is.
But that's and then I'm running a 24 to 70, 24 to 105, and a 16 to 35. That's my 3 lens suite that I run on that camera. All are Canon lenses. All are 24 to 105 is a 4 f4. The others are
It's not a
2.8s.
24 to 70. It's 16 to 35.
No, I said 24 to 105. 70 to 200.
You said 24 to 70.
You did.
Oh, sorry. 24 to 105 f4. 70 to 200, 2.8, and then a 16 to 35, 2.8. So that's my 3-lens suite that I run, and that does virtually everything. And then I carry like 4 batteries, and that's about it. I mean, it's pretty simple. I run it on a tripod occasionally. That rock steady or that in-camera stabilization is so good you don't really have to. It doesn't have the best dynamic range, but for what we're using it for like what Dudley needs, it's great. And then it takes an incredible image. So, and it's got a stupid fast, like, shutter count, like, really fast. So, it's a great camera. I wouldn't shy you away from. And it's got a flip-out LCD. Love that part of it.
I use a Canon 5D Mark IV, and I really only do pictures on it. I don't hardly ever film anything on it, so I don't really care about that part of the process of the DSLR. And then I pretty much have the same suite of lenses, 16 to 35, 24 to 105, 70 to 200. All of mine are f4s.
That's it. Oh, I guess you don't do video on it.
No.
Oh, he wants to know yours.
Oh, Sony A7 III. Only time I ever do video on it is if it's on the gimbal, or I will put it on an easy hanger with my Tamron 17 to 28 for like an over-the-shoulder whitetail
Second angle.
I have the Tamron 17 to 28, the Sony 18 to 105 with the servo zoom, and then a Tamron 70 to 200.
2.8.
2.8, and I have a battery grip on the bottom of it that I love because I never ever change the batteries on it.
Yeah. You got a battery grip on yours.
Yeah.
I do not run a battery grip on mine. I've debated whether or not I should, but I haven't done it on the R5 yet. I loved it on when I had the Mark IV, but
I literally only bought it for vertical photos. I didn't buy it because I'm not shooting video on it. I don't need the battery life. I strictly only use it because it's easier for vertical photos.
Yeah. All right, what else we got?
Same guy asked what headphones we're using for the podcast.
I can tell you the model number. Give me a second.
Audio-Technica BPHS1.
Yeah.
They're basically broadcast headphones.
Yeah.
Super
And
cool.
they're I've tried other ones. These are the best ones. These are about $200 a piece, but they're worth it. And this is a Rodecaster Pro. It's about $500, but it's idiot proof, man. And it's so easy. It does everything for you. You just hit the big red button, build your stuff into the board, and we don't even edit the podcast. What you hear is exactly what goes on the board. There's no editing whatsoever.
Which is super, super nice for a live setup.
Yep.
Because previous to this, you would have to buy additional equipment. If you were going to have a board, you'd have to run audio out of the board into physical hardware to run EQs and compressions and things like that. So it's pretty nice that this has that built in.
Everything in one place, but that's why it's $500.
It's
And you
only
can
$500?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's literally...
And you can run 4 channels of XLR, and then if you wanted to get fancy, I guess you could technically run 3 more mics into it. One would be a Bluetooth mic, one would be something off a 3.5mm jack or a cell phone, and then one would have to come in through USB. So it has 7 different channels, but 4 XLR channels. And when I say XLR, that's these. If you're looking at this stream, it's these. This plug is called an XLR plug. I don't know what XLR stands for. What else?
If you need more than 4, you might as well just get an entire tabletop mixing board.
Yeah, exactly. So, what else we got?
I think that's all, unless anybody watching on the Instagram Live or the YouTube has a question. But we could probably end the podcast and just hang out for a minute or two,
Yep.
see if anybody's got any questions.
You got anything else for fall? Excited? Good, bad, indifferent? Ready to get on the road?
Yeah, I'm ready to get out of the office.
I'm tired of editing. Real tired of it.
I've noticed that being here the year, that like throughout the fall I love it. And then about the last 2 trips, I'm ready to be in the office. And then February and March are here, and I'm like, all right, get me out of the office. And then it's turkey season, and we didn't travel a lot, but
Yeah.
I hunted a lot turkey season. And I was like, all right, I'm ready for a week or 2 to, like, relax. And then I get that 2 weeks. I'm like, all right, I'm ready for deer season.
Yeah.
And then I strain all summer because I'm ready to start traveling again.
Summer sucks, man.
Just about the time I get tired of traveling, I get a break, and then as soon as I get that break, it's about time for us to start traveling again. So I like it.
We've been asked, or I've been asked, I don't know if y'all have been asked, I've been asked several times of when we're doing another class. We're going to try and do another class in February. I don't know if that's going to happen. That is the plan. We want to do 2 classes a year. We'd love to do 3. I just don't see how it's possible for us to do 3. It's either going to be in February. If we can't make it happen in February, we might try and do one like late May or June before it gets like freaking blistering hot here.
You know what would be cool?
What?
Oh,
We haven't told Clay. I haven't told Clay why he's not going to like it yet. But go ahead.
okay. I still don't know what we're talking about, but you know how at you just leaned in like you're really pensively
listening.
thinking about
Pensive. I love how you try and use $2 words now. But go ahead.
now. I've used $2 words my whole life. So I don't know if it was at Foxworthy's or if it was the Crush where you all would do the turkey tournament.
Yeah, that was the Crush.
It would be cool to do like a school, but like that.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
And it wouldn't be so much of a school as it would be like a trial by fire, go make something.
That would be the best version. It's just finding a place to go do that.
And everybody being able to
Where
go
you
there.
pointing at
and-
yourself?
Do it at our place.
Yeah, but y'all just had turkeys for 1 year.
No, we do a deer season.
Oh, like a late season doe killing? We don't have enough places for everybody to stay. So we had 10.
No, we'll have that. We have that house.
What house?
Big white one.
Well, why'd we stay in the campers if you had a house?
Yeah.
Because you got to clean the house. Clean the house sucks.
Oh,
We had to clean the RVs too.
Yeah, but it's a lot smaller.
True.
I'd rather clean the house.
Well, I'm sorry. Next time I'll take that into consideration before I invite you.
But that would be kind of cool. And I feel like you could do that one as like,
And we could
But you
technically
could
plan
do-
that for like January, like a late
The
season.
last weekend, yeah.
What's the last weekend?
This past year it was the 9th.
We'll look that up. We'll
But
see if.
that's right
the only
about
problem
time
is everybody would
ATA
then.
is.
you'd
Oh
have
yeah, we
to-
can't do it during ATA show.
My
Yeah.
thing, though, I was going to mention, what if we did it somehow at, like, when we go to NWTF? It's more localized.
Yeah, but there's nothing to hunt then.
No, but we just do a regular class, but do it, like, wherever in the same city
I
that
just
NWTF.
hate packing all of our crap up to go somewhere.
No, that's true.
That's
I mean, because if that was the case, we'd do it in the middle of the country. We'd go to Kansas or Missouri or something to do it.
That's true.
I would love to do it actually on a turkey hunt. That would be fun as crap.
I feel like that could be like the
Where
Redneck
they have
Tech
to film
Podcast
us.
School 2.0.
That way we get to hunt. and They have to film us.
Well, it'd be cool. Like you could do.
It'd have to be like a 5-dayer though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It would be. It would definitely be a. It would be a time investment.
Oh yeah, big
And-
time. And it
and-
would be more than $500 like our normal classes.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
And you'd also everybody'd have to get tags and licenses. And
Well, you'd have to
all
do
that
it in a
good
place
stuff.
where you can just buy over-the-counter
Yeah,
tags.
yeah,
I mean, you'd have to do it in a Texas or a
Nebraska.
Kansas or a Nebraska. Yeah.
It'd be fun though.
Oh, it'd be fun. Finding a place to do it would be tough. So if anybody listening on the podcast has a place that you can house 10 to 15-ish people that we could hunt in 2-man groups, possibly 3-man groups during turkey season, or even a a February deer hunt, that would be awesome. Like a Texas February, that'd be cool. Or an axis hunt or hogs or something. That would be cool. That would be a really, really cool way to do a class. We haven't done that yet. But that would be fun to do. And then,
I mean, you could make that literally a shooting class.
oh yeah.
Like no editing for that class.
Yeah.
Just only in the field production.
And you could take that back and do a second part
Second class.
and
part
do a
one,
second
part
class
two.
in February or whatever here and just do an editing class.
Yeah.
Do an advanced editing, an advanced shooting class and an advanced editing class. That would be fun. And you would need to do it during late season. That way you could hunt in the mornings and the evenings in the middle of the day, like go through the techniques of dialogue and telling a story. And it'd be a hard 5 days, but it'd be fun.
It'd be like summer
And
camp, but
more
for
importantly, we would get to hunt. which is really the key of this.
What happens
So-
at band camp stays at band camp.
That'd be fun. So if anybody's got a good place to do it, holla at you boys. We'd love to do that. Oh, and here's the thing you're not gonna like. So Ryer had an idea for a podcast,
I already hate it.
and we're gonna assign a movie.
Oh yeah.
And this is, we not only have to watch the movie, but the listeners have to watch the movie, and then we're gonna
You
have a
to. If
podcast.
you don't watch the movie, we're
We're
kicked
gonna
out of
have
the
a
stream.
podcast
Blocked.
where we talk about the movie, imagery, production, things of this nature,
And we might use my little list.
storytelling, or we might just watch movies that I already know are good.
No, you can't watch because then what?
Well, let's start with some known movies. Let's not go straight to obscure movies off your obscure movie list.
It's
Okay,
not an
here's
obscure movie list.
the
It's
import-
1,001 movies to watch before you die. It's not obscure. Some of them may be, but there's a lot of like classics in there, obviously.
The important question is what happens if I don't watch?
Then you don't get to be on the podcast.
That's
for that.
perfectly fine. with me.
Clay,
Really?
what in the world,
You're
dude?
really- you're gonna be like that?
What's your deal?
Okay, do I get to have any input in what the movie is?
No, because you've not seen any movies. They're
What do you-
not
what
going
do
to
you-
be action
Caddyshack.
movies. They're not going to be rom-coms. They're going to be like storytelling movies.
The Titanic does not count.
Yeah, it's going to be like a
Have you?
Caddyshack? or-
no,
You-
no. It's going to be like a Dead Poet Society or
I've seen
Finding
Dead Poets.
Forrester or something like
I've seen
that.
Dead
The
Poet
Martian.
Society.
You've seen Dead Poet Society?
Parts and bits of it, yeah.
Okay,
Parts
then you
and
haven't
bits.
seen the whole thing. You got to see the whole thing. Golly, guys.
I absolutely
Killing
hate,
me.
I hate the idea.
Well, guess what?
Am I?
You're-
Am I?
You're a part of the freaking team,
Am I
Clay.
legitimately fired if I don't watch it?
No, but
Then
you're a
I'm
part.
not watching.
Then
it.
you're a part of the team. Be a team player.
I'll be tech guy for that.
No, be a team player here. Come on.
Don't understand your objection to watching movies.
I don't either. It doesn't make any
You know
sense.
how much more
How about-
productive you could be for
dude,
that 3 hours.
Dude, well, we can't stream it. We could. Well, no, that wouldn't work because I don't want anybody talking during the movie. I was about to say we could be watching the movie and talking about the movie, but I don't want to talk during the movie. That'll make me real mad.
That sucks.
Or we could watch it here together.
I'll do that.
You'll do that.
Where am I going to watch the movie?
on your
Yeah.
laptop, wherever you watch everything
You can
else.
watch a movie here. There's literally 2 TVs and 47 computers. You can watch a movie on here.
It's a little group bonding time. We watch it together.
Oh my God.
No, because we
We
remember
invited me and Clay, or me and Ryer invited you to come watch the freaking Batman movies, and you wouldn't do it.
No, I went golfing.
And what Ryer watched them, and they were great, weren't they?
excellent. Yes,
I have never once said that any of the movies you guys recommend suck.
You've never watched
you
them.
couldn't
Okay,
even
but I
say
have
that.
never said like, oh, I think that movie's gonna suck. I won't watch it. I just don't like watching movies.
But how do you work in
How do you not
out
like?
in
How do you not like
in
white
media?
bread? How do you not like white bread?
I like white bread. I just like wheat bread better, and that has
Okay,
nothing to do
I
with
like
this.
movies. I just prefer doing other things better.
Oh God, I just don't understand how you can work in media and content and not enjoy movies. Like I don't understand.
I didn't say I didn't enjoy movies. I just other things I'd rather do than watch movies.
What are you doing?
I'm
You d-
working out. I'm golfing. I am boat shopping. I am.
Boat shopping takes that much time?
Hey, player, you got to buy the right boat.
Oh God.
The
here-
wrong
if
boat,
you're working
the wrong
out-
boat attracts the wrong ladies.
Oh man, here we go. All right, we're gonna end the podcast. This is ridiculous. All right, guys. Thanks. Peace. All right, were you going to take questions or not?
Yeah, we can.
Do we have any more questions?
no
Does
more
anybody have
questions,
any
really.
questions? No? Yes? Yes? No?
Dude, if you're working out as much as like I'm watching content,
You should be swole AF.
Where
All
are the
natural-
gains?
All natural, bro.
I've seen way better all natural. You could be really very swole of being all natural. So either you're like doing
I'm not
band
mad. I'm
exercises
just
and
disappointed.
fitness girl things at the gym.
I'd rather you be mad than disappointed. Like a
Yeah,
parent.
that's what he's doing. He's stalking.
Yeah.
Stalking.
better be careful. I don't
least
think,
I'm
I don't
good
think
at
you
it.
can say those kind of things now
At least I'm
about Clay.
good. At least I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Being
He's
good
on,
at
he's on some kind of list.
But yeah, being good at stalking is not like something you.
I'm
It's
gonna
like
do
being good at making meth.
I'm gonna go to
It's
get
not
a,
something you just announce.
I'm gonna go get a Verbo like Brock did, and they're gonna deny me because some guy with the same name of me is on some list.
Yeah, don't do that. So when you go to the gym for all of those hours, you just doing like some band stuff or
Aerobics, spin classes.
dude, if you did a spin class, I'm going to a spin class. If you committed to a spin class, I'd go. I'd show up in a full kit
I know you
with
would.
my helmet
Okay,
on a
so
stationary bike.
so I have an all-time movie list. Can we pick a movie off this movie list and be the first one?
I'm about to leave for 45 days. I can't do it. Sorry.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, we can plan it for sometime else.
All right, let's go. Let's pick it.
So, just pick a number between. Hold on.
Oh,
1,
I hate
2,
this game.
3, 4, 5, 6.
This game sucks. You get screwed.
Hold
either
on,
way.
hold on. We'll do this. Random
26.
number generator.
Between 1 and 26.
1 and 26.
Mm-hmm.
The number is. There we go. 16.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, it couldn't be a better one to start with, too, man. The Man from Snowy River. That is the movie that we're watching.
Hold
That's
on.
the movie.
Let's go to IMDb and let's see.
It's an old school movie. It is one of the best there ever was.
All right, we're gonna go to IMDb. The Man from Snowy River, released 1982.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
In
It's
1880s
one of my all-time favorites.
Australia, after Jim Craig's father dies,
1880s.
Jim takes a job at the Harrison Cattle Ranch, where he is forced to become a man. It has an IMDb rating of 7.3
That's
out of 10.
bullcrap. It should be at least over an 8.
Let's see what the Rotten Tomatoes is.
I'm gonna have to take this to HR.
HR says it's tough.
Who's HR? On Google, it has a 4.4 out of 5 stars.
Okay, that's
And
more
let's
like it.
see with Rotten Tomatoes, there's a 2. Did you know that?
Yeah, there's a 2. It's not near as good as the first one.
Yeah, I figured it couldn't be. On Rotten Tomatoes,
85.
it's enable ads. No, I don't really want to.
It was
Can I-
85 and 89 is what I saw.
Enable ads, whatever. I don't.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's real dumb.
You know what, Rotten
You
Tomatoes?
can't get out of it. Just click out of
Screw
it.
You. You can't. There wasn't a.
Yeah, you can. Just click off of the thing.
I tried that.
Click off. There you go.
It's an 85% on the tomato meter and an 89% audience score. So, that's pretty
All
good.
right, so you have. When do you leave?
Wednesday.
It's 9 tomorrow night, dude.
No chance.
You leave in the morning, Ryer. Have you seen The Man from Snowy River?
No.
This is a great one then. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Brian Stevens is heading to the airport.
What?
Florida. I bet he's going to Florida.
Does that mean I'm supposed to drive? Nobody told me.
What?
If I need to drive, I need to go like do a bunch of maintenance things to my truck.
Well, call him.
He's
All
heading
right.
to the airport.
We're ending the podcast. We have to call clients that are making lives harder. Thanks, guys. Peace.